All right, we're having here an example of a stoichiometric calculations. So basically what we are doing in here is the same as we did in the lab guide of the cooking recipe. Our original recipe and our list of ingredients can have an analogy in this type of exercises. So let's start by saying that, for example, the chemical equation, which we have right here in the slides, is equivalent to the list of ingredients that we are going to have. So we need to combine carbon monoxide with hydrogen to produce methanol, as it described also in the problem. That is the ingredients that we are going to combine. However, we don't know how much we need to combine. Similar to having flour and sugar and chocolate chips. But if you don't know how much to combine, then you wouldn't know how to prepare cookies, for example. So you need to know how much of each ingredient you need to combine. Exactly the same in this case. So the first step that we always have to do is to balance the chemical equation. When we balance the chemical equation, in this case, we only need to add a coefficient to hydrogen because that's the only element that is not balanced. So we are going to add a 2 there as a coefficient, and that's it. The equation is now balanced. Then what we need to do is to compare what is given in the problem. In this case, 3 moles of carbon monoxide and 5 moles of hydrogen are given. And the question is how much methanol you are going to produce. In that case, what we need to do, you can take it as a rule of 3. You can easily connect it in the way you prefer, as long as you solve it correctly in a mathematical way that is correctly proposed, you can solve it the way you prefer. So I'm going to show you here how we work with conversion factors, because that's actually how at the end we will have to propose it. You can solve it in the way you prefer, but then you will also have to propose conversion factors every time you solve an exercise like this. So in this case, for example, we know from our balanced chemical equation that I have 1 mole of carbon monoxide to produce 1 mole of methanol, and that I have 2 moles of hydrogen to produce 1 mole of methanol. That's the ratio in which they react. Those are the quantities that I need in order for them to react. However, the numbers given in the exercise are slightly different. So this is similar to the question that I gave you in the lab guide, in which I told you to take 300 grams of your first ingredient and 300 grams of your second ingredient. These were just random quantities that were given to you, but it doesn't mean that for your recipe you can just mix all of them together and it will have the same product. No, you have to take the ratio and combine them in that specific ratio in order to get the product that you are expecting. So it's the same in here in the chemical reactions. So what we are going to do is, if you want to think of it as a rule of 3, you can think of it as a rule of 3, because what we are saying in here is, if I have 1 mole of carbon monoxide, I can produce 1 mole of methanol. How many moles of methanol can I produce if I have, for example, with the first ingredient, 3 moles of carbon monoxide? That will be your rule of 3. Now just write it as a conversion factor and that's it. So let's start on how the conversion factor looks like. So we always start with the information given in the problem. Always. In this case, we are going to do it ingredient by ingredient separately. So the first ingredient is 3 moles of carbon monoxide, and then here in your conversion factor, what we always going to have are the coefficients from the balanced chemical equation. Always. Here in this section, everything comes from the balanced chemical equation. Okay? So before balance, a chemical equation. Every time you do it that way. The ratios. So for example, in this one, I know if I need to cancel units, I will need to have moles of carbon monoxide down here, and because I'm trying to calculate how many moles of methanol, as the question asked me, then I will have to have methanol up here in order to get it as a result. So my ratio, my conversion factor is, I know that for every mole of carbon monoxide, I get 1 mole of methanol, because that's why my balanced chemical equation says 1 mole of carbon monoxide to produce 1 mole of methanol. And that's it. If I do the calculation, well, obviously in this case, as the ratio is 1 to 1, then the result is going to be 3 as well. So 3 moles of methanol are going to be produced, and that's it. That will be the first part. And then we have to repeat it with the older ingredient, which is in this case hydrogen. So I start with the information given, in this case the 5 moles of hydrogen, start with it, and then again the ratio in which they react. In this case, I need 2 moles of hydrogen to produce 1 mole of methanol. So that's what I write in my ratio, or in my conversion factor, or in my fraction, as you want to put it. 1 mole of methanol needs 2 moles of hydrogen to be produced, as it says in here. 1 mole of methanol requires 2 moles of hydrogen to be produced. And why in that order? Because I need to cancel my moles of hydrogen, to get the moles of methanol. In that case, the moles of methanol came out to be 2.5 moles of methanol. Okay, now how do we interpret these results? So according to your calculations, if you were only to consider carbon monoxide, you are going to produce 3 moles of methanol. But if you consider the moles of hydrogen, you can only get 2.5 moles of methanol. So for the answer of the question, how many moles of methanol can you produce? Actually, what we need to take into account is the smaller number in here. So in this case, the 2.5 moles. Because even though with the 3 moles of carbon monoxide, I'm able to produce 3 moles of methanol, I don't have enough hydrogen to produce that. If you notice, for example, if we want to produce 3 moles of methanol, we will have to have 6 moles of hydrogen in here, but we only have 5. We don't have enough of hydrogen. So the limiting reactant in this case, so to answer the 2 questions from the problem, the limiting reactant is going to be hydrogen, and the moles of methanol that are produced are 2.5 moles of methanol. Even though with carbon monoxide I'm able to produce 3 moles, I don't have enough hydrogen to produce 3 moles. I have only enough to produce 2.5. So my excess reactant, even though the question is not asking it in here, but we can also add it as an answer in here, the excess reactant in this case is going to be the carbon monoxide. It's in excess, I have a lot, I have more than enough, but I only have enough hydrogen to produce 2.5 moles. So that's the amount of product that is going to be produced. And that's why hydrogen is my limiting reactant, because it's limiting the amount of product that I can get. That's it, that's the problem. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there is anything that is unclear or in any point you got lost, let me know and I will clarify it. Now the idea, okay, these are the steps that we just used in the exercise to solve it. So if you need to write them, write them. There is another method that we will see later. Don't worry about this one yet. The idea now is that you solve this problem by yourself, trying to solve the problem. There is an additional first step in this problem, and is if you notice, the amounts in this case are given in grams. 24 grams of carbon monoxide and 15 grams of oxygen. So in this case, the additional step is the first one, which is convert all the quantities to moles. We will have to first turn these grams into moles. If you remember, we do that by using the molar mass. And the molar mass is obtained by looking at the atomic masses in the periodic table, adding them together according to the formula of the compound, and converting it. So molar masses, that's what we need. That's it. Have a look at the exercises, let's get started, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you, ladies.